Eminem isn't the rapper you thought he was. From a fast food addiction that made him file for bankruptcy, to starring in a movie with Denzel Washington, to sleeping through his Oscar speech, here's 10 things you didn't know about Eminem.
A blue sleeve, abused ink. Use it as a tool when I blew steam.
Eminem hated school, especially subjects like math and science. The only subject Eminem was good at was English because he memorized the dictionary to become a better rapper. Eminem figured out the science of breaking down words so he could make any word rhyme. But Eminem barely made it to class, and you'll never believe why, Eminem said. Whenever he would go to school, he would get picked on by all of his classmates. He would get thrown into lockers and get made fun of for the way he looked. He even once got pushed so hard into the ground in 6th grade that he blacked out. Eminem missed so much school that he repeated the 9th grade 3 times, which made him get bullied even more because he would always be the new kid in the class. Eminem said the reason he became a rapper was because when he listened to hip-hop music, it would give him the confidence to confront his bullies and ignore what they said to him. But when Eminem turned 17 years old, he realized school wasn't for him and dropped out of his high school for good. Eminem worked various dead-end jobs in Detroit before he left for Los Angeles in 1997 to compete in the Rap Olympics. While in Hollywood, Eminem caught the acting bug, and in 2002, he acted in the semi-biographical film 8 Mile. But Eminem almost made his big screen debut a year before in a different film. Eminem was signed on to co-star Denzel Washington in the 2001 movie Training Day. The film followed rookie cop Jake Hoyt on his first day with the LAPD. Eminem was signed on to play Jake, but then Ethan Hawke took the role instead. The director still wanted to hire Eminem, so they asked him to play a minor villain in the film. But then the script for 8 Mile came across Eminem's desk, so he put everything else on pause to prepare for his movie. Eminem not only had to act, but he also made all the music for the film. The film's soundtrack debuted #1 on the Billboard charts, and the song Lose Yourself was nominated for an Academy Award. But Eminem didn't even show up to the Oscar ceremony. Eminem thought his song would lose, but he was wrong. When presenters opened the Oscars envelope and called out his name, Eminem was nowhere to be found. Everyone thought Slim Shady was hiding in the bathroom because he was too scared to speak. But in reality, Eminem was asleep on his couch watching cartoons with his daughter. He was so busy catching Z's that he didn't even pick up his phone. Eminem's agent, Paul, left him 20 voicemails to see where he was. Luckily, Eminem's producer, Luis, was at the Oscars and accepted the award on Eminem's behalf. Because of the success of 8 Mile, Eminem bought his dream house in Detroit. The 17,000-square-foot house had a custom movie theater, so Eminem could always watch his favorite movies. But Eminem's favorite movie isn't what you'd expect. In 2009, Eminem almost fainted because he was so starstruck when he met the movie's lead actor at the MTV Music Video Awards. The actor was Jonah Hill, and the film was Superbad. Eminem said if there was an award for best movie ever, Superbad should win because it's the most quotable movie of all time. Eminem even got mentioned in the movie and has a McLovin ID in his wallet in case of an emergency. But you probably wouldn't expect the one thing Eminem loves more than movies. Eminem is an avid sports fan, but even though he grew up in Detroit, his favorite football team is from Texas. Eminem is a massive Dallas Cowboys fan and follows the team religiously. But don't get confused, Eminem loves the Detroit Lions too. He said when he grew up in Detroit in the 70s and 80s, the Lions were so bad he had to pick a different team, so he started supporting the Cowboys. Eminem loves the Cowboys so much that he watches every game in his movie theater. But Eminem didn't always have a nice pad. Before Eminem made it big, he lived in a trailer park. Eminem's trailer was always getting robbed, but one thief pissed off Eminem more than others. Once, a burglar broke in through Eminem's kitchen window and made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He didn't steal anything but ate all of Eminem's peanut butter and left breadcrumbs all over the floor. Eminem was so pissed that the robber ate all his peanut butter because peanut butter is his favorite food. Eminem requires peanut butter and jumbo shrimp backstage at all of his shows, or else he won't perform. But Eminem's house kept getting robbed, so after the 5th time, he quit rap for 6 months just so he could hunt the thief. Eminem never caught the robber, but found himself in trouble with the law instead. Eminem was 20 years old when he was arrested for a drive-by shooting, but it didn't involve real guns. Instead, Eminem and his friends drove around Detroit and shot random people with something you wouldn't believe: paintballs. Eminem drove his car while his friends shot at people walking down the sidewalk. But when they handed the gun to Eminem, he shot at something else. Eminem had his friend take the wheel and he climbed out of his window onto the roof of his car. But Eminem made a decision that he would later regret. He aimed the gun and shot at none other than a cop car. Eminem recreated the incident in a scene in 8 Mile, but everyone in the movie got away scotch-free. However, in real life, Eminem wasn't so lucky. He got pulled over and the cop threw him in jail. But the cop never showed up to court, so Eminem's case was dismissed. Eminem's brief run-in with the law influenced his Grammy Award-winning album, the Marshall Mathers LP. But the self-titled album originally had a different name. Eminem considered titling the album Amsterdam because he had just visited the Dutch city. Amsterdam has very relaxed drug laws, so Eminem decided to write a large chunk of the album there. Eminem smoked a lot of marijuana at the time and did a bunch of other drugs with his friends on the trip. The city's free drug laws inspired Eminem to openly talk about drug use in his music. In the end, the Amsterdam title didn't feel right, so Eminem called the album the Marshall Mathers LP, and it became one of the best-selling records of all time. Eminem sold 1.7 million records of the Marshall Mathers LP in the first week. But he said if he sold more records for his next album, he would build a Taco Bell in his backyard. For many years, Eminem had a Taco Bell addiction. The rapper Yayo said Eminem always had a ridiculous amount of Taco Bell backstage. In 2008, it was rumored Eminem struggled with his weight after the death of his friend. Eminem only left the house to go to Taco Bell, and the teenagers behind the counter knew his order by heart. Eminem always ordered a burrito supreme, a beef chalupa supreme, 3 tacos, and a Diet Coke. But Eminem only liked mild sauce on his burritos because he couldn't handle anything hot. Fans learned Eminem couldn't handle spicy foods, so they started calling him soft online. But Eminem couldn't roast them back. And it's for an insane reason. Eminem doesn't know how to use a computer. When Eminem was 42 years old, he claimed he wanted to fight anyone that left a negative comment on his music videos. But he didn't know how to work a computer, so he couldn't respond to them. Since then, Eminem has said he's learned a thing or two about the internet, but avoids going online at all costs because he's never had a good experience using it. He said it would be no good because he'd tell online haters to come by his house and throw hands in real life. Eminem became one of the best rappers of all time. But what's even crazier is what rappers spend their millions on. A NBA-sized indoor court, a $220 million custom 747 jet, a car collection worth more than the White House, and it gets even crazier. So if you want to know more about how rappers like Drake spend their cash, click this video right here.